Okay, we're talking about differences between public and private universities right now. We've talked about how Pell Grants at a private work like an agency relationship held in trust. Government gives the Pell Grant to, say, Rice University or Harvard University. Harvard passes it on to the student. At a public institution like Texas A&M Kingsville, we're going to treat that as non-exchange revenue. Public and private. Reclassification of temporarily restricted assets. So sometimes donors restrict their gifts. We want you to use this for scholarship. We want you to use this to build a building with our name on it. This happens a lot at university, actually probably more than any other place. People want to give money to chair a professor. People want to give money to students. People want to give money to build buildings with names on it, or, it's pretty common at universities. So contributions with donor restrictions are either temporarily or permanently restricted upon receipt of an unconditional, and then they get temporarily restricted upon receipt of an unconditional pledge. So small things recognized as unrestricted under FASB, then they reclassify to unrestricted once you've made the expenditure. So the point is once it's spent, it becomes unrestricted because it's gone. Public institutions like Kingsville don't have that going on. Time restrictions are viewed as an eligibility requirement under GASB, and time-restricted contributions are not revenue until the time period has commenced. So we're going to give you this in the future. We're less likely to recognize them as a public university. Pledges for endowment aren't recognized by public institutions until they're received. Somebody says, I'm going to give you $1 million to name a building after me. We hold off on putting that down. So we talked a little bit about this last time, contributed services in Chapter 10. We talked about that. Sometimes an accountant helps prepare the IRS 990 form for, this happens a lot. I've had plenty of friends prepare 990s for churches and charities they belong to. And that's a contributed service because it takes a special skill, and otherwise they would have to pay for that. So that's what we mean by contributed services. Now, GASB doesn't have anything cover this because typically people don't donate their services to the government. Now they might to the animal shelter, right? But they typically won't to the state of Texas. So we don't have that come up in GASB. But certainly it's easy to imagine somebody contributing their time to, say, Rice University to help them out. I went there, I graduated from there, I want to give back to my college. Not me personally, I didn't go to Rice. No, but you can imagine somebody saying that and doing that. They went to Rice and now they want to help them out with some legal services or something. So that would just be revenue, like we talked about back in Chapter 10. So when we come back, we're going to talk about the kinds of financial statements.